What is up, guys? Welcome back to my channel. On today's video, we are back, guys, with another Hot Toys unboxing and review video. Today we are featuring Doctor Strange from the Multiverse of Madness. This is my second Doctor Strange figure. For those of you guys who watch my videos, I previously posted the figure that I got from his appearance in No Way Home. Today we are going to take a look at his figure from Multiverse of Madness. Obviously, we are going to be making similarities. We're going to be making comparisons to see what are the things that are the same, what's different, which figure is better, and other things like that. Also, before I do start with the video, want to wish you guys a Merry Christmas. Today is December the 24th, so it is Christmas Eve. So want to wish all of you guys who follow my channel a Merry Christmas for you and your families. Want to thank you so much for the continued support, and for those of you guys who are watching my videos, liking them, subscribing to my channel. It means the world to me, all the support that I've been receiving from you guys. Again, want to remind you that if it is the first time you're watching me and you have not subscribed to my channel, just know that it is free. You can subscribe whenever you want to. Hit the notifications bell so that way you stay updated with any upcoming videos that I will be posting. This figure was purchased on Sideshow Collectible. As always, I leave the link on the description of the video so that you guys can take a look and grab yourselves a this figure if he is available. Which I'll be honest with you guys, I don't know if he is, but just know that that's where I purchased it from. But yes, today we're going to be taking a look at Multiverse of Madness, Doctor Strange. Very excited to get him reviewed with you guys. With that being said, let's go ahead and get started. Okay, guys, so as always, we begin with the box art. Let me just say this, guys, this box art is absolutely amazing. So we are off to a great start. As you guys can see, we have pretty much an image of Benedict Cumberbatch on the middle of the whole cover, along with some red and blue smoke. We have the name of the figure in the movie at the bottom, and then we have some multiverse glass cracks all over the whole cover. Each image shows a different version of Doctor Strange from other universes, which of course were displayed in the movie. As you guys can see, if you guys can take a closer look, we can see different versions of Strange, either Sinister Strange, Evil Strange, whichever you want to go ahead and call it. But we have different versions of him, so I think that looks amazing on the box art. Off to a fantastic start there. We take a look at the right side. Hopefully you guys can see this. Sadly, my lighting isn't the best, so we're not able to really take a good look on it, but we do have this kind of blue and red background that mixes very well along with the name of the figure in kind of like a silver type of coloring at the bottom. On the back, same thing. We pretty much have the warning and label signs along with some more multiverse cracks at the very bottom. And again, if you guys want to take a closer look, we see different versions of Strange on it. The blue and the red looks really good on this box. Of course, those are Strange's colors, but again, I just love the mixture of them. And then pretty much same thing on the left side. As you guys were able to see on the right side, it was more of a reddish color. Here on the left is more of a bluish color. I think the mixture of those colors is absolutely great. We have the name of the figure again with the same font and some more glass breaks. So honestly, great start. Love this box. Couldn't ask for any better, to be honest with you guys. We get to the secondary box. So now with the secondary box, as usual, we have a black box with a plastic cover where we can see the figure along with other accessories. We take a look at the right side. Pretty much again a black cover along with the name of the figure, and then we look at the back, and this is a beautiful image. So we have different versions of Strange portrayed here on the back cover. Pretty much kind of like that poster that they did for the movie, so it's very similar in that way. I think it looks really good. And then same thing on the left side of the box, the name of the figure along with the black background. So pretty much that would be it for the second box. And now we get to the figure on itself. So as you guys can see, the box is huge, even though it isn't wide. If I raise it up, you guys can see there's 4 different levels of boxes where we have a lot of things to cover. So very excited to get this guy open. So we take off the first layer, which has his hands and the dragon pieces, which we will discuss a little bit later on. And now as we get Strange out of the box, to go ahead and give my first initial thoughts. Honestly, guys, oh, he looks really good. He looks perfect, to be honest with you guys. I don't want to say that he is the best figure that I've ever received yet, but honestly, guys, he just might be. He looks perfect, honestly. The body type looks great. The suit looks good. That face sculpt is as good as it gets. I would say 1,000 miles better than the one from No Way Home. This thing is really, really good. We take a closer look at his face sculpt. It just looks great. And of course, we will discuss it more in detail and we will compare it to the No Way Home version of the figure. But honestly, guys, after a fantastic start, this figure looks really, really good. As you guys always know, we will start with the accessories. We will review them each detail by detail, and then we'll get to the figure and the comparisons with the other Strange. Okay, so now with the accessories, guys, as you guys can see, just like with the No Way Home figure by Strange, this thing has a lot of things that we have to cover. So many accessories, so many different things. We first begin with this base. So with the base, this thing looks really, really good. It is a smaller base than I expected, but the shape of it helps us pose the figure in different ways. As we take a look, the font of Doctor Strange is based on the title of the movie and not Hot Toys regular font, and I like that about it. We do have a scratchy surface where it kind of a purple-ish color and some spells around the whole base. I think that's very creative. It looks really, really good. We do have its regular flight pole stick, but we also have this smaller flight pole stick that is made for the cloak of levitation. So as you guys can see, it has the magnet pieces right there in the front where we can actually put the cloak of levitation, and if we want to pose Strange where he's trying to grab his cape to put it on, this is what would give us that option. Honestly, it is not a thing that we needed, right? But the fact that they added onto the figure, I mean, why not, right? It gives us again options for those of you guys who want to post them that way. It gives us those options, and I'm glad that they included that. Other than that, the base itself is really, really good. Like it a lot. It looks really great on the figure. We get to the cloak of levitation. With the cloak of levitation, the first difference, of course, is that it does have that blue part on the back, just like on the movie. We of course have that shoulder kind of piece that goes on the left shoulder of Strange, and then of course it does come with the magnetic parts once again that would go attached to the front kind of chest area of Strange. We of course will try that on a little bit later on in the video. The cloak itself looks good. I would actually dare to say that it looks a little bit brighter than the No Way Home version of the cloak, and then of course it does have the wiring like always, but it looks great. I mean, I've never had any complaints with the cloak by Strange, so that looks really, really good. We get to the next part, which would be these two magic pieces by Strange. So the difference is that it has some type of white effect in the front. On the back, it does have its regular pieces attached where you would put the hands of Strange on it, but in the front we have these kind of like white kind of snow type of effects on these pieces. Obviously there were some parts of the movie where there was snow on it. Not sure if they went with that because of this, but I mean, I really don't have complaints about it. I think they look really, really good. We have another magic effect piece by Strange where we can put each part on one of Strange's hands and just have him pose that way. As I always say, with these figures, they include a lot of details that look very similar to other figures. I really don't have complaints about that. I mean, this could be the same piece for multiple Doctor Strange figures, and I'm not going to have an issue with it because to me, it's not that important for the figure. And then we do have 8 pairs of hands, four pairs of hands and 8 individuals. As I always say, with the hands of Strange, the color texture, the skin texture looks great. This thing has again those scars that he has on his hands. Of course, these two hands would be him posing with making his magic effects or spell effects. The next two are going to be his wide open hands. These hands are actually going to be very important, and I will discuss that later as to why. But again, same thing. The skin texture, the way that the lines are made is absolutely amazing and looks very legit to the figure. Here we have 2 more hands with different posing signs as far as magic spells. As I always say, it gives us different options to pose the figure, so cannot complain about that. And then we have 2 more hands, one where he's pretty much grabbing onto something. So the right hand will be for those magic circular effects so that it can connect to that. The hand on the left will probably be for that long stick of magic for Strange. So again, as I always say, different options to pose this figure. Have no complaints about those hand pieces. They look really, really good. And then we have this book of Vishanti. So I do want to confirm it is not the Dark Hole. It is the book of Vishanti. So as you guys can see, the book does look a little bit different. It looks more neater and not as evil, right? But all the pages pretty much just has some spells on the right side. And then we do have America Chavez, the star, on the left. I am assuming that they went with that, but honestly I really don't have complaints that the pages are the same. I think the fact that they already include the book is good enough, but they did include, and again want to confirm, it is the book of Vishanti, not the Dark Hold, so want to go ahead and reiterate that. And then we have these handcuffs. I'm glad that they included these. Obviously, for those of y'all who watched the movie, whenever Mr. Strange gets arrested and he gets to see the Illuminati squad, he gets handcuffed in these. And I like the fact that they spin as well. They did spin. And I like the fact that they get connected by magnet. It makes it very easy for us to post a figure that way and not have any issues with it falling off. And by it coming apart, it gives us an opportunity to be able to connect it to Strange's hands. Here we have more magic pieces. These go on Strange's wrist. Pretty much it would be one for each hand. They're pretty much the same as the No Way Home version, and I have no issues with that because there really isn't much to change about these pieces. The only thing that did change is that they did not include green pieces. Obviously the green pieces were because of the time stone. Obviously he doesn't have this time stone anymore, so it makes sense for them to not include them anymore. They just included those. We do have also the amulet of the Eye of Agamotto. So this is a much smaller amulet than the one from No Way Home, but at the same time, on the movie, his amulet is smaller, so I really can't complain about Hot Toys. Me personally, obviously, I would prefer it to be longer because it's going to be harder to put it over his head. But at the same time, I understand Hot Toys, they're going with the version that was displayed on the movie. So they pretty much got it accurate. And speaking of accurate, this head sculpt is an absolute masterpiece. So they included the third eye that was there at the end of the movie for those of you guys who watched it, and it looks beautiful. So right here with his hairpiece, he does have the hairpiece to the back, but everything looks great. His hairpiece, the skin texture, his eyes, his beard, everything. This is as good of a head sculpt as I've ever seen, and I'm included the regular head sculpt for this figure. He looks great, honestly. I mean, I really cannot think of anything bad with it. We then get to these also dragon pieces that they included, and I'm very glad that they included this as well. So these dragon pieces, obviously there was a scene where where Strange is fighting Wanda, where she tries to break out of the spell of the mirror spell. These pieces were obviously included as part of his magic, and as you guys can see, they look really, really nicely done. They are a little bit heavier, so maybe this isn't plastic, it's another material, right? But the faces on the dragon look very legit. They look scary, they look good. I love the coloring on it as well. So very excited to get these pieces on Strange, right, to go ahead and pose them that way. Actually, I'll try to go ahead and show you guys how to go ahead and connect these pieces onto Strange. As you guys can see, there's circular parts to it that I would assume that these are going to go inside the forearm of Strange. So very excited about that, and also excited that they included one for each arm, so that gives us a lot of options. So very, very glad that they did that. So pretty much that's gonna be it, guys, for the accessories. Everything looks great. I really have no complaints whatsoever at all. I mean, I really can't think of anything negative. Everything looks great. If you guys do think that there's something that I missed, or that there's probably something that isn't right, feel free to let me know. I will totally respect each person's opinions, but for now, off to a fantastic start. Okay, guys, so now with Strange, so as I had mentioned whenever I first opened the figure, this might be the best head sculpt I've ever seen, honestly. This thing looks absolutely perfect. To me, it's perfect, honestly. I can't think of anything wrong with it. I really don't want to be that picky. Everything looks great. Maybe his eyebrows, that's probably the only thing that I could think of, but honestly, I'm not going to complain about that. Everything looks great. This version looks younger than the one from No Way Home. I feel like the No Way Home version of his head sculpt was a little bit too old. This one looks perfect. The hairpiece is good, everything. As far as the suit, it's a lighter blue color compared to the one from No Way Home. It looks exactly as it is in the movie. I think that the way that it's made, the fabric looks perfect. As you guys can see on the back, it just fits him very, very well. This thing honestly is, oh man, I really want to say perfect, because I really cannot think of anything that's wrong with it, right? But again, at the same time, I am, I'm open to other people's opinions. I respect them, but everything looks great on it. We can take a look at each individual piece, right? His hands fit him well with the suit. It doesn't look too big, too long. The hands, they move pretty much easily. They're bendable, gives us options to pose them. Have no complaints about that either, right? They pretty much bend as I would think they would bend, and they're very flexible, right? So I like that a lot about the figure, because again, us as collectors and us trying to pose them, well, it's gonna give us less issues, right? So everything looks good about the suit. Have no complaints about it. We go to the bottom. We have, of course, his boots. Here's one difference, and actually I found something that I don't like. As you guys can see, whenever you bend the foot and the leg, you guys can see that part right there that I really don't like. And I'm sorry, I know it does look a little bit blurry with my camera, but right there, as I try to clear it out, there's that piece in between the foot and the leg that doesn't look that good, right? So that would probably be the only small complaint that I can have. But the difference is that the No Way Home version does not bend its feet. This one does, and I actually like that, because if we want to post a character flying, well, of course the legs have to be kind of bendable, right? Or more, well, actually the feet have to be bendable just to kind of give him a natural position. But other than that, guys, this figure is perfect to me. It's amazing. It's wonderful. Might be my favorite that I've ever had from any, Hot Toys. As you guys can see in the back, those are all my Hot Toys. So eventually we will do a collection tour, but I think this might be the best one that I've ever gotten. Now let me go ahead and install the other face sculpt, the one with the third eye. So as you guys can see, and we try to attach it, and again, as I mentioned before, whenever we were reviewing the accessories, this second face sculpt looks perfect as well. So we have right there with the third eye, and again, it gives us options to pose the character. Really, there isn't any differences. The only difference is the eye and the hairpiece that it's tied to its back, or I guess gelled, if you want to call it that way. But it makes sense, of course, because we really want to take a good look at that third eye that he develops, and I can't wait to see him in a movie that way. Now, with the dragon piece, guys, I do want to apologize. I wanted to show throughout the video how to put it together, but sadly it is kind of a hard process and I had to do it off camera, but I at least will let you guys know how to do it. So you guys do want to go ahead and take the hand out of it, and then just pretty much insert the whole arm on it, and then make sure that that circular part where the arm connects is out, and that little stick that goes connected onto the arm, you want to make sure that you kind of push it towards the side so that you're able to install the hand. Once the hand is installed, then just go ahead and connect it to the dragon piece. So that would probably be the best way to go ahead and get it done. And just looking at the figure with the dragon piece, it looks beautiful. As you guys can see, it connects well. It looks very natural. Looks really, really good. Everything looks great. Now with the cloak of levitation, so it's pretty much going to be just like the figure. So you connect it via magnet, although I am very limited because I feel like that shoulder kind of see-through piece is a little bit too wide. As you guys can see, it doesn't connect fully, so that will probably be a little small complaint that I have about this flight pole. But other than that, as you guys can see, now we can post the cape or the cloak of levitation pretty much on its own, and that gives us an option of posing Strange trying to put the cape on him. So again, I really don't think we needed this, but the fact that Hot Toys included this on the figure, I mean, I'm not going to complain about it. I mean, again, it just gives us more options to pose the figure, so I think that's really, really good. And it does look very natural on it. Maybe with the wires, you want to go ahead and extend it. Now, a side-by-side, guys, between Stranges. So the moment that I've been waiting for to compare both the Strange from No Way Home and the Strange of Multiverse of Madness. So let me be clear. The No Way Home version is really good. I'm not gonna be too picky on it. The head sculpt, it's still pretty good from No Way Home. But let's be honest, guys. The Multiverse of Madness is just light years better. The face sculpt is more perfect. The suit looks brighter. The coloring is even better. The body, I would say, is probably the same, although the Multiverse of Madness does look a little bit wider. But again, to me, it's the head sculpt. The head sculpt is what does it for me. It's just better, right? It's just so much better, right? Again, the No Way Home head sculpt, I think, makes him look a little bit older, right? So that's just my personal opinion. Another thing that you guys can see here as far as differences, the amulet, Eye of Agamotto, is much bigger on the No Way Home version. For me, the Cloak of Levitation was easier to attach onto the Multiverse of Madness version, and I will explain a little bit later on as to why that could be. Also, the boots are bendable for the Multiverse of Madness version, not for the No Way Home. So that's another thing. As far as the magic pieces, hand pieces, they're pretty much the same. So those would probably be a couple of differences from the figure. Similarities, both are really good. I can honestly say that. So that would probably be the comparisons that I have at the moment between these two figures. Okay, so now I do want to go ahead and take a closer look here at both of the face sculpts so that we can compare a little bit better. As I mentioned before, the skin texture on the No Way Home version makes him look a little bit older than what he actually is. The one on the left, which is the Multiverse of Madness, it makes him look his actual age. I think it's a little bit more pale. The hair pieces, as you guys can see, are a little bit kind of the same, although to me the one on the left is just much better. Also, the neck is a little bit thinner for the Multiverse of Madness, and that's why we're able to go ahead and install the cloak a little bit better. So again, both head sculpts are really good, but there's no question that the Multiverse of Madness's version is just much better. Okay guys, so now we've reached the end of the video, which is pretty much the posing and my final thoughts on this figure. So I did go ahead and think about this off of camera, and I think I'm sure about my decision. This is the best figure that I've ever received from Hot Toys. This thing is amazing. The face sculpt is perfect. The figure is perfect. The accessories are great. I really cannot think of anything that they could have missed. Again, the issue with the boots and his legs, I'm not going to complain about that. That's just a very small detail that I found on the figure. Other than that, everything looks perfect to me. The suit, the accessories, the face sculpt, everything's perfect. Again, I respect if somebody else has a different opinion. If you guys do, again, feel free to leave a comment, so that way, who knows, maybe you guys might change my mind, right? Maybe I'm just probably a little bit too impressed with what I've received from Hot Toys, right? But to me, everything looks great, and it is the best figure that I've ever received. Not my favorite, but the best for sure. Speaking of best figures that I've received, I do plan, guys, to make a video at the end of the year. I do want to go ahead and pretty much make it about the best figures that I've received all year long. Obviously, I haven't received every single figure that Hot Toys has released. Again, since I am a new collector, I haven't collected as many as I've wanted. But the ones that I have collected, I do at least want to make a video about it, showing which ones are my best, but also my favorite, right? Just to kind of give a quick comparison about that. But to me, I really don't see anything beating this guy. This guy is as good as it gets. Everything looks perfect on it. Again, I can't stress it enough, right? This guy has everything well done, and I am very happy that I have him on my collection, right? Me personally, if you guys are thinking about it, I really wouldn't hesitate. I would go ahead and get this guy if he is available. Although I think right now on Sideshow Collectibles, they are sold out, so you guys would have to put yourselves on the wait list. But if you guys have the option to do so, go ahead and get this guy. This guy is the best Doctor Strange figure that's ever been released. So I would highly recommend it. Before I do end the video, guys, as always, want to thank you for the continued support. Thank you so much for always tuning in and watching my videos and liking them and subscribing to my channel. As I always say, guys, there's a lot of things that I can do better. I still consider myself a new collector, so there's some things that I can definitely go ahead and do better as a collector. If you guys have anything that I could do better, any tips, advice, or any comments, feel free to let me know, as long as you guys are nice about it, right? But I will definitely take in all recommendations on things that I can do better. But for now, this is how I'm doing so far, right? And each time trying to get better as a creator here on YouTube. But want to thank you again for the support and for always watching my videos. For those of y'all, if it is the first time that you are also watching me, again, welcome to my channel. Feel free to subscribe, leave go ahead and hit the notification bell, so that way you can stay updated with the videos that I am making. Also, on the description of the video, my links to my Instagram and TikTok are there. Feel free to check me out. There is where I post images and shorter versions of the unboxings, so that way you guys can stay tuned with all of the content that I post on a daily basis. Once again, want to continue to thank you guys for the support. If you have any questions about other figures, feel free to let me know. Up next, we are going to go ahead and do an unboxing of the blue and gray suit version of the Batman, played by Christian Bale. I know a lot of you guys decided to pass on it. I did go ahead and purchase it, so that will be my next unboxing. Again, hit the notifications bell, so that way you can stay updated when that video will be posted. But for now, guys, want to thank you once again for tuning in to my favorite figure of my whole collection, or the best one that I've received. Thank you for the continued support, and I will see you next time.